improving your health. Improving your health. I screwed up already.
Stop and start it again.
No, we're going to keep on going.
Stop and start it again.
No. I know this creates anxiety, but what we were talking about today, but it is improving your mental health with Joseph Evaldi and
Sierra Bliss.
Yeah, and Sierra Bliss. Okay. On this show today, we were talking about mindfulness and anxiety. Now, as many know, we all deal with anxiety from time to time. I've dealt with my fair share before the string of the recording podcasts and stuff like that. And, I mean, anxiety is normal, but how do you deal with it? So, Sierra, how do you deal with it?
I do breathing exercises. Usually breathe in through your nose up to 4 times, and then breathe out from your mouth 5 times. It's always slower on the exhale.
See, this is what I learned. I learned this from my reviewing the Wise Mind sheet. It's like, breathe in, wise mind, think, and breathe out. I mean, it helps. So what do you think?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, you could complete a hobby too, if you're something to distract yourself, to keep your mind on something else.
That's a very good thing. You know what technique I used yesterday?
What?
To deal with my anxiety?
What?
Is I was getting upset with everything and stuff like that. I was mentally picturing myself in a penalty box in hockey. Now, picture this. You're in the game. You're in a fight. You checked or you did something to get a penalty minutes. You got to sit in the box. When you sit in the box, you had that time to think about what you did, and you had that time to focus, realign yourself, and get back into the game.
I think redirecting your thoughts is good too.
Yeah, it's redirecting your thoughts. So, we're not going to be in penalty boxes, but we got to reset ourselves so we could get back in the game of life.
What I've learned from mindfulness is sometimes when you have a thought or different thoughts, you compartmentalize it. You put it on a train going by in your mind, and then you leave it there to just fly by in your mind, and then that's a way to let it go.
Can you explain that again?
It's like putting your thoughts in your mind and onto a train that's drifting by, and you're kind of just letting your thoughts flow and go on their own, but you have more control over it.
So kind of like you're on a train. You're going. It's going how many
very fast it's going.
Speed.
Yeah,
who knows if it's like Back to the Future, it could be going into the future or the past.
You don't want to think about the future and the past.
You don't even think it's not a train going into the past or the future, it's in the present state.
Yes, it's to stay mindful of it.
Yeah.
In the present moment. There's other sensory meditation you can do too, where you imagine your arm, like you think of, not imagine, but you think about your arm and the sensations in your hand and your arm, and then you travel to your upper arm and then your shoulder, or you can start from your feet and move up the leg, and then just be aware of the sensations and your breath and your breathing at the same time. It's a way to calm yourself and distract yourself.
I agree. I mean, it's what I realize is in some situations that I'm stressed, I breathe in, I breathe out, center myself, and I can refocus.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, I get upset in situations and I realize, hey, this is not the best thing to do to get upset. So what I would do is breathe in, breathe out, recenter myself after a few times, and then I have a little bit of clarity.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, it's true. And you just reframing your thinking and you focus on something else to relax yourself.
I got a question. I mean, I know we're discussing about anxiety, but what about dissociation? Let's just say you're in a situation and you just tune out and you tune out the world and you're completely somewhere else and you're thinking of something else. Like, what is that?
A lot of times doctors and people like try to say that dissociation is not good. It's best to be in the present moment and deal with things. But it's important to, if you do dissociate, to be able to control it at certain times when you're doing it, to have more control over it at different times. When you are doing, like, maybe set aside a time to do that.
Yeah.
Try to stay aware and present, but just try to take that time out, and that's where you have more control, when you take the time out to dissociate on your own.
Let me explain the situation. Now, I'm somewhere, I'm not going to mention where, but in that situation, I'm there doing my artwork or whatever. Or doing my writing, or let's just say I'm doing something. And the person is talking, needs to talk. But instead of being distracted, I completely zoned out, tuned out, and just focused on doing whatever I was doing. But from whatever I heard from my counselor or whatever, one of the counselors, they said that in meditation or whatever, you drift off with your mind. But even though you drift off, you gotta focus and get yourself to center it. So that's
to bring yourself back from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Focus on the moment.
Yeah, focus on the moment.
Yeah.
So
a lot of times you do that if there's trauma, or if you don't want to deal with something traumatic or upsetting or bad feelings like anxiety. You drift off into dissociating, and you're in another world where your mind is, you kind of numb yourself, but that's not always healthy to do, because you miss out on a lot of stuff. You miss out on conversations, you miss out on the present moment of what you're doing. If you have a task to do, it takes away from important things. And it's not always good, because sometimes if you do it when you're driving, you're not paying attention. You're out of your mind. Yeah. And not out of your mind, but your mind, like you're out of your mind.
Yeah. See, I always thought when I couldn't focus in on the situation, or I was like out of the situation, like, and it happens a lot. I'm like, I'm an airy kind of, I'm an airy kind of sign. Like, I'm airy. Like, I'm like, I'm up in the skies. I'm reaching for the stars. Not metaphorically, but it's like, it's like I'm thinking of the next idea or whatever. But I might be in a situation and I might be like thinking, okay, we got to do this, we got to do that. Okay, we paused for a bit. We're back recording again. We were talking about dissociation and anxiety, and we're going to wrap up the podcast. Before we do, I'm going to mention some books that are available by Joseph Vivaldi and my friend Tom that we did a collaboration with. How to coping. I think it was a book on coping with. Hello, I'm back. I'm mentioning two books that we did by Thomas Pecorino and Joseph Vivaldi. Coping, Recovering from Anxiety. You can find that on the Kindle in paperback. And also, I got oh, there it is. I got more. I'm just scrolling through Amazon right now. Oh yeah, also How to Deal with Depression by Thomas Pecorino and Joseph Vivaldi. So check them out. They're on Kindle, and Sierra Bliss has something to plug too.
I want to plug my blog on Harlan Coben books. Check it out. They're on sale on eBay under Joseph Vivaldi.
Well, it's in the josephvivaldibrand.com website.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure you can find that, and the link is on LinkedIn that I posted it there. It's going to be on the Joseph Vivaldi Network Nexus that I'm going to post the link for there and talk a little bit about that. So check it out. So this is Improving Your Mental Health. Your host Joseph Vivaldi and my guest
Sierra Bliss.